What's up, world? Welcome back to Radical Investors, where we talk about stocks, crypto, NFTs, and all the ways how to make the money. I'm Wasu.
I'm Hamed.
And today we're talking about why Solana may 50x by the time we get to the next bull cycle.
Let's go.
Hey guys, thank you for coming back to our channel. If this is your first time here at Radical Investors, take the 3 seconds to go down and like and subscribe to this channel. Guys, we are giving you alpha from the stock market to the crypto markets to the NFT markets. We are, during this bear cycle, going deeper, doing all the research that you need to get the advantages that you want to have for the next cycle.
That's right, guys. We're trying to, and we are always looking for those quantum gains. That is a 10x minimum play. So if you really want those exponential gains, bless the subscribe button and tune in.
Yeah, so let's get into the video. Solana.
Yeah, Solana. I mean, it's had quite a journey, right? For the last few years, right?
Absolutely. From VC coin to coin of the people.
Right.
It's been an interesting ride. And there's a very interesting article that hit the internet talking about why Solana may 50x. So we wanted to cover that article and give some of our points and counterpoints to that particular article.
Yeah, so just to add context, the article was comparing Ethereum back in December of 2018 when it traded at a low of $79, and obviously it's gone up to a highest right under $5,000. So the article was suggesting that the same thing could happen to a Solana coin. In this bear season, it's more than likely, if I don't think we've hit the bottom, so it's more than likely going to go below its $35 current price, and it can potentially 50x from that bottom. So it was just comparing its cycles, but Solana has a lot of things going for itself, right? There's really 3 main points.
Yeah, I mean, the first one for actually, let's take a step back. There's a conversation that's being had in the crypto world about Solana, that Solana can never overtake Ethereum,
right,
or can never be a true competitor of Ethereum because it is more of a centralized coin,
right,
and that there's a lot of development that has already happened on Ethereum. But what we would like to counter to that is that there has been no winners have been declared in this war,
right,
for the future of crypto and the future of blockchain and the future of layer ones. Right now, there's maybe a total of 3 million active users in all of crypto land.
Yeah.
Right. There's not
compared to the
right.
There's
There's not 50 billion people, or 50 million people on it, 100 million people on Solana or Ethereum or any of these things, right? So we're still incredibly early, right? And remember, at one point in time, AOL was the king of the internet, right?
Yeah.
So Yahoo was the king of the internet. So I wouldn't say that the war or the fight between Ethereum and all other layer 2s, or layer 1s, has been won yet. So I think it's still a possibility for Solana or any other layer 1 to overtake ETH. Now, the case for Solana, I think, number one, whenever you talk about Solana, the first thing that comes to mind is cheap fees.
Absolutely.
Cheap fees. So we know for sure a lot of companies are making migrations from Ethereum-based projects to Solana-based projects and some other layer 1 blockchains, because the fees are just ridiculous on Ethereum, and we know for a fact that it does not scale. We remember during the heights of the bull run, we saw gas prices,
ridiculous,
in the thousands. When there was a massive NFT drop, it was absolutely crazy how congested the network got and how much loss of value. It was like over 250. Last year, I think it was like the number was 250 million.
That's
in
insane.
just like gas fees alone, bro. It's
that
crazy.
could be airdropped to everybody.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's just wild, and that's why we have actual crypto companies that are moving over to other chains, and so that's the big one. Number 2, it's been their funding. right? There's been several programmers, several developers. They have a huge fund. I think they funded 100 million plus to developers, and I'm sure that number is growing more and more. Obviously, it's backed by Alameda and Sam, who seems to be the white horse, right? The white knight in this crypto space right now. Now, I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about the guy because, you know, he is a little awkward and kind of came out from nowhere, so we have to kind of assess that and see how things goes. But I think, you know, you have to respect the guy for being able to do what he's done in such a short amount of time, and to really position himself as a power player in the crypto space. So with him being a big funder of this project, I mean, it's definitely a project where you have to keep your eyes on. Like, you would be a fool not to pay attention to what Solana is doing with all of its backing.
Yeah, he's accumulating in the space, and their footprint has just gotten bigger during the bear season by accumulating different protocols. And yeah, they have a lot of money, and that's something that we talk about during the bear season. We know companies that have raised a ton of money are more likely to survive. The companies that haven't really raised that much money, they might see hard times. So that's one mark in the win column for Solana.
Yeah.
And the third reason why Solana might overtake or might have that 50x is NFTs. NFTs. You guys might have heard that Solana is on OpenSea now, the biggest NFT marketplace, right? And the volume of Solana NFTs a couple of weeks ago matched or surpassed ETH-based NFTs, and that was the first time in history that happened. Again, with the cheaper fees, with the availability and the great user interface that they have with Phantom Wallet and some other stuff, you can provide doper experiences on Solana than you can on ETH, and a lot of people are rushing to create top blue chip projects on the Solana based ecosystem.
Yeah, and that user interface is a big deal because, you know, ultimately the product design has to be friendly to the consumer, otherwise they are not going to adopt it. Like, there's tiers, right? Maybe a certain, like, your maxis, your early adopters will adopt anything, right? We're early adopters, right. We're curious, we're used to all of that, going through this and that, and we're used to that. But to say that the masses are going to do that is not the case. So as you know, Ethereum continues to get their stuff together and, you know, hopefully, you know, put out their 2.0 and other, 3.0 eventually, you know, every crypto project has to really be mindful of the user experience. One thing also, just a bonus just to say for Solana, is really where they're at. That each chain, it's all pros and cons, right? Each have decided to take different approaches. You have Cardano building the slowest, but very completely intentional, no flaws, right? You have other people that are kind of just build as we go and it's being wrecked. You have others that are more centralized. Different priorities are being put to the table. And I think, you know, in crypto, we have to be opened. We cannot turn into maxis because this is such an early space, right? And if you really want to win in crypto, you really have to allow yourself to be open to these different pros and cons, because they each have pros and cons, and really look into what those narratives are and really apply that to what the world wants, because that's the consumer, right? It's the world. You can have the coolest thing, but if it's not friendly or if it doesn't connect culturally to the end user, you're never going to get a product market fit. So let us remember product market fit and really keep that in mind as we continue to siphon through all of these crypto projects.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And, you know, just so we're clear, we're not Solana maxis on this channel. Not at all, no. I mean, Solana, there's a whole bunch of negative points.
A whole lot of negative points.
It crashes all the time. It's super VC-backed, decentralized. And the NFTs that are popping right now are a lot of clones from ETH-based projects. So there's a lot of things to be said on the negative, and there's a lot of things to be said on the positives. I think the positives might slightly outweigh the negatives at this point. Yeah. And again, that's why we think it has the potential, just like the article said, to go 50x. And that's very good here, because that's what we do, is we try to 100x those bags, right? So that you're not necessarily tied to a chain. We're tied to our wallets, and we're tied to our pocketbooks, and that's what we do at Radical Investors, is find those 100x plays. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. As always, we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.